So let's say rule of law goes bye-bye. Let's say you've instituted the rules for without rule of law. I know, crazy title. A video I posted not too long ago. Go watch that one. All that's done, and your council has decided that you need to have security patrols in your neighborhood to maintain security of your community, whatever those borders are. Is this your first choice? TacticalDoodle. This is a Freedom Ordnance FX9 9mm pistol, technically speaking. It has a brace on it. Takes Glock mags. Don't answer yet, but is this your first choice to do those neighborhood patrols with? Creating some drama in the bunker.
Better than being the anti-gun neighbor who gets stuck with somebody's Mosin. Hey, Barry, your turn. I don't really believe in guns so much. Whatever, here's your Mosin.
Here's your Mosin. By the way, there's a bunch of cosmoline on it.
Uncosmoline.
And then when you give it to him, you give him like a mayonnaise jar full of kerosene that he can, and some rags. Like, here you go, dude.
Yeah.
In 6 rounds.
No, don't give him rags. Make him use his own socks.
He's your anti-gun neighbor, you're saying?
Yeah, so he's been really irritating. He's like, I don't know why you think you need those.
Oh, that's funny.
Fresh from the crate, untouched from when it was thrown in the salt mines in 1942.
Okay, so that's the framework for this 9mm pistol review, Freedom Ordnance. By the way, I searched this gun out all by myself this time. Are you proud of me?
All by myself.
I knew about it. I knew it had last shot hold open, and I got done reviewing the Palmetto, what was the PG9 that tested very well here in the project. We love the PG9. It's a competitive option. And then from that, I was like, well, can I get a gun like that has last shot hold open? Went clicking around the internet, and lo and behold, I ran into Freedom Ordnance, one of the few manufacturers for this type of firearm.
Yeah, you really don't see them anywhere.
We're kidding. They're everywhere. In pretty much every 2 weeks, a new manufacturer of a 9mm pistol with a brace or a 9mm PCC will crop up. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
On that side.
No. Evidently, they're popular.
Guys don't come out, companies won't come out and start making this stuff unless they're making money off of it. So when you see a certain type of a gun, this is just marketing 101, come out, whatever format it's in, whatever format it's in, that means it's selling well.
I'm really interested.
There's money to be made on it, that's why.
It's really weird to see it because so many
Shades,
have
brace
proprietary stuff going on. It's not like your normal AR manufacturer where you can just grab stuff off the shelf, slap together, and go, this is our name. We're Snakebite Arms Incorporated. Check it out.
That's probably going to be a new company if it's not already existing. Snakebite Arms. And
Big.
by the way, you can put together an AR9 easily.
Yeah.
You go to Palmetto's website and you know, I want this barrel length, I want this handguard. They're very simple guns. They're blowback guns. And the parts are out there. They've been out there for a long time. And I've seen in comments from other PCC and pistol reviews I've done, the guys just roll their own. And I completely get that. But there's a ton of guns that have this same format. And you were clicking around and found some new ones that just came out, right?
It blows me away. I was looking for them going, well, if we're shopping for this, because I kind of actually like this one.
I do too.
We tried the Tresna. I had never heard of that one before. We saw that. That was a
mostly
surprise.
like that one. It has way too much metal in the receiver area, lower receiver area.
Yeah, it's just very odd. Every time you look, there are 3 or 4 more. I found one, Angstat.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Yeah, Wilson Combat's making one.
And let me guess, it's $2,000.
Yeah, I tried to find the price direct from them. They give you an order form too.
How much was it though? Did you find it? Price on it?
Gunbroker, about $1,800, I think.
That's insanity. Love you at WC, but holy crap! Come on, for a 9mm pistol.
If I were real horny for a Wilson, I would buy something like this and then buy their furniture or stock, whatever makes it look like it, and build a replica.
Could, totally could. Totally could. Let's jump into philosophy of use. We have spent a lot of time on this. I have a video out there. It's been out there since 1978. Was it 78 I posted it? And it talks about why pistol caliber carbines don't suck after all. And I've waffled back and forth between them sucking and not sucking. I'm kind of back in the camp of them sucking.
It depends kind of on the... I don't want to say...
That's the question we asked at the outset. We'll get to that. We're going to circle back.
But I've noticed the trend vacillate. They've gone from niche tool to suddenly it's the end-all, be-all. This is my primary carbine, and
there's a reason for that, in my opinion, and that's all it is. The reason behind it is there's there's gun tubers talking about them. There's blogs, there's websites that have really promoted the pistol caliber carbine over time. And honestly, it's turned into clickbait. And you guys love it. You're here watching this video, you love it. So anything that's kind of submachine gun looking, tactical looking, the shorter the better almost, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to come out one like this long and it's got a brace. Oh wait, they already did. It's a copperhead.
Copperhead. It's like an 1.5-inch barrel.
The copper.
It really is. It's like it's so tiny. It makes me think though that the sea change that we're seeing happens because everyone's already bought the AR. So it's like we're looking for new niches that not everyone's already bought. And so we kind of go through phases like ARs, yeah.
But is this really a niche though? Is this I don't think this is a niche. This is basically an AR-15 and 9mm. Granted, it has some variances in it, but the fire control group, the ergonomics on this gun are all AR. And so guys are used to it, and we all love the AR. Anyone who doesn't love the AR and really acknowledges its design excellence is suspect in my book, our book. We just go, what? He and I have made videos on this over the years, but we digress. Back to philosophy of use. So go look at that, why PCCs don't suck after all. There's a lot in there. I stick behind everything I said there. We're gonna jump and just throw and maybe review a couple of those things. How about shooting steel? Would you do that with an AR-15 close range, 25 yards?
Not so much.
Are there ranges that have restrictions?
Yeah, there's some different range rules you might have to deal with, especially if they say like no rifle calibers.
Yeah.
You still want to practice, but
yeah, and it might be an indoor range. And I prefer that my neighbor, if I go to an indoor range, not cook off a short-barreled AR next to me. Short being like an AR pistol. We'll show you one here before we end. I just think it is so much. It's so loud, it's concussive, and it's damaging to hearing. I prefer a guy roll in on an indoor range if he wants to shoot an AR format with a PCC. That's just me. You want to show that right now, don't you?
I don't know. Give me something to look at other than my face.
Save it. That's a competitive option. So yeah, range use, close range steel, like out in the desert, we never shoot, obviously. Close range steel with an AR, probably the closest we'd ever go. I would say I've shot 50 yards before. We tried to push it out to 75 yards, and I'm just talking with regular ball ammo, not frangible. Frangible will increase our ammo costs like ×4 if we did it, and it's hard to find, and we never shoot frangible. It's ridiculous. Philosophy of use. People who are recoil shy?
Yeah.
I don't think an AR recoils that much, but it is loud, and sometimes it's intimidating to people. Women, small-statured shooters might be able to roll into an FX9, just like the other carbines and pistols I've talked about before. Motorcycle gun. Yeah, probably. Let me be honest, though. If I feel the need to actually carry a long arm, I'm going to say this is a long arm for me, out in the desert, I want something more.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to freaking carry this with its freaking 90-round drum magazine. It's about the same weight without the mag. This is, of course, a what?
Romanian?
Draco. Mini Draco, actually.
Oh, the Romanian drum.
Oh, you're talking about the mag.
Which works pretty well.
I would run this, especially out in the desert where my shots would probably be longer instead of a puny 9mm.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead. Philosophy of use is done. Hope you liked it.
Other philosophy of use, but this is, I mentioned it earlier, but I really think a lot of times we like to pretend we use our guns a lot more than we do.
Online, people do that all the time.
Gun guys, and I'm not much of an exception, we like buying stuff. We like having a new purchase on the horizon. Right. We love obsessing over it, researching it.
Tell them, not me.
I think that's why people are excited about this, because they wouldn't normally buy one. They see it and they go, oh, at that price? Next thing you know, hey, everyone's getting into PCCs because, you know, we didn't have it before. You're talking about second cool. And second cool includes collectability, includes buying stuff you don't really need. I'm pushing philosophy and I'm okay with that. This thing's purpose is to stave off insanity and depression for the brief moment you hit that add to cart, wait for it to get to your FFL and get it. After that, when that fuzz and oxytocin wears off, you kind of just put it in the thing. You're like, yeah, I have that. I can use it. And then you justify the purchase with the POUs after the fact. And you go, no, I love that thing. I got it for my recoil. You just probably described most of the purchases out there. I'm describing myself. But why don't you go instead, if you're really looking for that emotional high after purchasing something, buy a Citizen Primo chronograph. I thought you were going to say heroin. But yeah, that watches work too. Watches. Look at TD's watch. That's a Brigot.
This is bought by Charles New. It's a KC-135 special crew member watch. Thank you, Charles. So kind. And guess who stole it from me to wear? That's right. So it has a KC-135 logo in it. It has the colorations of the KC-135 boom. Swiss quartz, not quartz, but automatic movement. It's pretty awesome.
It's British, I think. Bremen?
Oh, did I say Brigot?
Yeah.
It's Bremont?
It is Bremen.
Oh, I forgot.
Brr.
Should have remembered.
With a thick British
Pretty cool.
accent.
Yeah, so go buy a watch instead, dude.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't think this is overpriced for what you get.
It's very affordable.
So retails around $800 on their website, and then street around $650. Thank you to Gunny's, the great American sporting goods store, supporting the Nut and Fancy project for over 37 years now. That's incredible. 37 years. So go buy stuff from Gunny's, the great American sporting goods store.
It is a lot easier having a channel now, because 37 years ago we had to send out Betamax tapes on a loaner basis.
Do you remember? You don't even know what a mimeograph.
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
I used them, yeah. You'd roll it.
Yeah, you'd ink it. That's how we used to put our flyers out when we first started the channel.
Yeah.
We're kidding around, of course.
Mimeograph.
So it was like a drum, and you'd ink it with blue ink, and you'd roll it, and that's how you made copies in schools. When I was in school, they'd mimeograph. All your copies weren't Xerox. Is before Xerox machines. They were mimeograph.
It was like
blue
that
ink.
weird construction paper all the time.
Yeah, it was.
It sucked.
And remember we used to do our flyers in TMP that way? That sucked.
We had to bring our music back from back then. I wish our announcer didn't die in 1981. I used to love, he was so jolly.
Oh, I love having TV.
Welcome to the interesting world of firearms ownership.
Welcome to the Nut and Fancy project. Are you in the mood for a pistol caliber carbine? Actually, it's a
9mm, invented by the Germans.
Okay, let's go to features now. They're like, thank heavens. You'll see a 3-inch muzzle cup on the FX9. And by the way, if you go to their website, I'm talking Freedom Ordnance, they also have a very interesting FM9 that can be put on any standard AR-15 lower receiver, and it is belt fed.
It's a cool idea.
And supposedly that one was 10,000 rounds tested. So that's just a little aside. So we looked at that. That's interesting. Belt fed would make sense, I guess, if you're full auto. Anything else, it's nonsense.
It's a range toy for the guys that already have registered lowers and seekers, so they can play with it. Because that's a lot cheaper going through a Belta 9 than...
Amen. Threaded barrel, 1/2x28. Kind of a cool fake suppressor on there right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It's got the look.
And it wasn't really that loud in shooting it. So we didn't feel a need to find and source a suppressor that would fit under this handguard. We didn't do it, which will drive to the point we don't know if it has to be tuned if you do run a can on it. In my experience, pistol caliber carbines, 9mm pistols like this, they're generally pretty simple. They're forgiving of different pressure variances. And so it should run just fine with a can on it. There was one like the CMMG MKG guard. I think you had to tune it. Then it gave certain parts that you could tune it according to your can. Anyways, we didn't run it with a can, and it looks pretty sick the way it is. I just leave it if I were you.
Yeah, I like it as is.
You might have a suppressor that fits under there, and then it would be even cooler. I'm not saying it wouldn't be. That's their own rail. They're calling it a Freedom something rail. Freedom Ordnance rail. I bet you MI is making this for them. This looks very Midwest industry-ish right here. This flared out portion, this is what they do. So they probably just went to MI and sourced a rail. It's actually pretty excellent. And unlike the FM9 rail, you saw that one, right?
Yeah.
It's really big, and it sits around the barrel, and I think they did that for full auto.
Yeah.
And so it can cool. But again, we'll insert what we said about the full auto thing there. So great rail, top and lower pick rails. You can put a hand stop on this, but you can't put a VG on it since it's a pistol legally. This is not an SBR, and that's awesome by me. I have no problem with that at all. I don't want the hassle. I don't want the tax stamp and all that.
The months of waiting.
I think we have the Hollow Sun 503C on top of this sucker, and it is a fantastic sight. We've always loved the 503C and anyone like it. The 400 series is also excellent. Does not come with any iron sights. Does that make you sad?
Not really.
Do not care.
I would rather have a lower price and no iron sights with the ability to choose for myself, as opposed to what CZ does on the Scorpion, where they give you boat anchors.
Yeah.
Those giant, chunky
like
ones.
each one's like 4 ounces.
Yeah.
It's insane. And we peeled those off on the Scorp. Pick rail here, 7,000 series. Actually, I could be wrong on that. I think it's probably 6,000 series aluminum because this is CNC billet machined, both the lower and the upper on the FX9. Which you'll have to do. You have to get 6,000 series to do that, unless things have changed. You've got your bolt hold open on this side. Again, it has last shot hold open, which is fantastic.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness. The first PC pistol we've shot that has that feature, so you can see it right here. And then you have a bolt release right here, just like your AR, bro. How cool is that?
I think it's starting to get a little more common.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I've noticed a lot of these newer ones, like 2018, 2019, you see the announcements of,
right.
Yeah, we're finally going to have last shot.
Right.
Although the top comment on one of its biggest competitors, the PSA, is all, hey, when's this going to get last shot hold open?
Well, they're going to have to come up to speed because they're going to get smoked in sales after this review. Because I would buy this over the Palmetto. It's not even a question.
Totally.
Jumping ahead. SB Tactical brace on it. So much better than the Shockwave or whatever that thing's called.
Shockwave blade.
God, that thing's uncomfortable. I mean, it works, but this is better. It does have some adjustability in it. It is a brace. It's completely legal. Currently, that law is being interpreted wisely as to say, hey, you can shoot it from the shoulder. It does not alter the weapon whatsoever. You have a QD sling swivel cup right here. This gun is light enough to swing from the shoulder at 5 pounds, 10 ounces without optic. Standard A2 pistol grip on it with a finger divider on it. And it did come a little bit loose. TacticalDoodle.
Hate it.
Okay, rant a little bit. Go.
It just did. Rant. Well, I understand and all that, but it just bugs me how often we see new guns that have little just wiggles and little rattles and little things where they're not cinched down. And I'm bugged by that, but I'm bugged more by the ambivalence people show. They're just like, yeah, I just bought this. It's... Saying,
is that right?
Whoever's slapping this together can afford paying $6 for a jar. Much of that, it's basically gold.
Hey, John, I know you like the Locktite, but you need to kind of, lean it out a bit. You've gone through 4...
Although, as an aside, the chapstick Locktite, I love. That stuff's awesome. Doesn't seem to be a bad mag.
It worked great.
The reviews
no problems at all.
Pretty positive.
Worked great.
The Korean ones are kind of hit or miss sometimes. You'll have people
stainless steel line, just like a Glock factory mag.
Yeah.
We've been having some problems with the Korean ones, the KBIs, whatever they're called. Like one won't load past the halfway mark. So apparently this one's good. I didn't run the EPS in it, the clear polycarbonate. I think that's what they're called. I've had great luck with those, and I like them. My favorite are the Glock Factory 33s.
Yeah.
Hands down. But don't you like it comes with a 33 round?
I love it.
Yeah, so they're not giving you just like a 10 or 15 rounder. They're giving you a full stick mag. That's fantastic. The trigger on it is horrific. It's standard AR mil-spec trigger. They have a note on their website there at Freedom Ordnance. It says the trigger has more disconnector engagement than a regular AR-15 trigger. So don't just huck this trigger. You may find that your drop-in AR trigger does not work so great. That being said, you may have noticed there is some Scotch tape, cellophane tape on the opposite side of the receiver. TD, why is that? Jumping ahead to reliability.
We didn't have the budget for the Locktite and the anti-walk pins. Got to say, the new Keurig machine in the break room's pretty bitchin' though.
So what he's referring to is that hammer pin walked during shooting multiple times.
Yeah.
And we got light primer strikes. And honestly, when we're getting light primer strikes, I never thought to look to see if the pins had walked. I thought it was just something set up with the gun. Lo and behold, we noticed that the pin had walked out, and that was it. And then TD had the idea, hey, just put some tape on there. We didn't have Gorilla Tape with us at the time. We did have this. We put it on, and it solved the problem. So getting back to what TD just ranted about, we love you, Freedom Ordnance, but get your crap right. I mean, get your crap right. I mean, you don't test this to find out that your pin setup right here ain't working. It'll say that it takes K&S anti-walk pins. That's great.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put them on the gun for you, the end user? Or make bigger diameter pins so they fit in tighter. That would solve the problem right there. You know how many ARs I've shot without any problems that don't have an anti-walk feature in them? Most of them, because they have properly sized pins and they won't walk out. I can't remember the last time I shot a regular, well-made AR that had any problems with that. But it was a consistent issue with this. And once we taped it, or once we're on top of it, it was fine. And it is an easy fix. I'm not saying this is like the end of the world, and I'm definitely not going to condemn the gun because of it. But it's an irritation.
So Gen 3 either has to have the anti-walk pins or just include like an inch square of tape.
Yeah.
And then we'll be good.
Cellophane tape, or do you want Gorilla?
I would love Gorilla, but that's a little pricey.
Yeah, we're already blowing our budget on blue Loctite.
Yeah.
This has a standard AR trigger guard, so you could drop it and extend it. I would do that immediately. Maybe just put a Magpul extended or whatever other brand you want. I hate these ones right here. Standard. But the nice thing is they're really easy to push out and swap over. Same with the pistol grip. You could change that out. So, and you can see the CNC milling on this, which I think is pretty high quality on the FX9.
Yeah.
And I kind of rant against CNC machining for AR-10s. I don't like it. I like forged for ARs, whatever, a 10 or a 15. But on a AR-9, I'm more forgiving. Yeah, I do think it still adds weight. I'd prefer to see this in a forged upper and lower. I think that's a military spec buffer tube. Castle nut didn't come loose. Standard charging handle, and I'd probably change that out as well. Maybe though, because it's not really occluded by an optic.
Yeah.
I really like it if I have a scope out here. I like a larger charging handle. Maybe you guys are the same way. And we're done with features. Should I show them inside actually?
Yeah.
Super quick. We'll break this open. FX9. Let's look inside. No big surprises here. Simple blowback. The one thing this gun will lack that I really liked in the CMMG is that softer shooting design. Did you ever shoot that?
Yeah, it's been a long time now.
Yeah, the CMMG, it has that, what do they call it? It's a radial, it has a radial delayed blowback. It is a softer recoil impulse, this one. It's not bad. It's just a standard PCC, yeah. So it's going to have a little push. 9mm push, no big deal. But I really enjoyed shooting this CMMG. And then we get to how did it shoot. We talked about the walking hammer pin. We're not going to talk about that anymore. After that, it was 100% with all loads tried. One thing we did not try, and nor is it recommended by the manufacturer, is aluminum cased ammunition. That's the same as Kel-Tec. The blowback 9mm pistols and PCCs don't like it. And it doesn't really matter because I don't see that around anymore anyhow.
Yeah.
CCI quit making a long time ago.
It's weird how rare it got.
It's sad. Man, that was great ammo.
That was awesome.
They used to make a hollow point round. I've talked about it for years. Dang, it was just really great ammunition because it lightened your load. Like in your carry pistol. In this gun with 33 rounds, aluminum case versus brass case, it's going to be a couple ounces. And we do have some paper to show you on the FX9. This is semi-rapid, 8 yards. Point of aim is higher because we zeroed it at 25 yards with a holosun. Awesome. 15 yards standing with the FX9. Not too bad, not too bad. This is TacticalDoodle at 25 yards. The pin's walking from the gun. Light primer strikes. We made a note. Like we'd forget that. Really good accuracy. Were you standing or rested? I think you're rested here, weren't you?
Rested.
Okay. 10 yards. This is TD shooting the FX9. I'll try to show you either on a side inset or a regular picture-in-picture inset of that. 25 yards. Is this one or two groups? Probably just one. So this is me at 25 yards with the FX9. And I think I'm shooting 124s there, 124 FMJs. So I'm not like totally blown away by that. Actually, I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, it's so accurate, but it's totally in the ballpark. I'll call it good to excellent. But then again, we only shot it with a red dot. I think really excellent would be shooting this with a red dot at 50 yards. Don't you think?
Yeah.
That if you got that at 50 yards, that's phenomenal. But it's shooting about the same as a PG9 from Palmetto. So fun to shoot, by the way. I hated the trigger. I would do something with that trigger, either get a trigger job, try an AR trigger, drop in an echo trigger maybe. And then, I really did not like the trigger setup in the FX9, but it's easily swapped out or whatever currently. Competitive options, TacticalDoodle.
It's a lot. And it kind of depends on what you're going for. Do you want just the function of a pistol caliber carbine, or do you want kind of the coolness? Because a lot of the options in there, you start getting to like semi-military issue, cool, fun, special ops kind of stuff, like an MP5.
Show them that one first. Venerable here in the Nut and Fancy project. The Scorpion.
Was the hottest thing on earth for a 6-month period a couple years ago.
It was. But you know what? I'll say that the Scorpion has maintained its popularity, because I think a lot of guys wisely bought it and they like modifying it, and it is a project gun for them, and it shoots so well.
Yeah.
This thing shoots smoother than the FX9.
Yeah.
It is a smooth shooting gun. It should. It is heavier, right? We have it outfitted about the same, except we have a TRS 25 on the top with a spacer, and we finally got rid of that horrible factory brace with the rubber one.
Yeah, ours didn't come with a brace either, and even there it was...
Oh, that's right. We put that one on.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad. It was a SIG rubber brace, right?
SIG rubber abomination.
We have a non-matching FDE SBA3 adjustable brace on this Scorpion now. Oh my goodness. Man, does it transform it.
World of difference.
Still a great gun. Funky grip angle, a little bit different trigger. We do have a stop on this. I really wish we had outfitted that on the FX9.
That came with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like in these short pistols, when you're using the brace, you're going to have to be careful, of course, that your hand doesn't migrate up towards the muzzle. And I think I reminded him during the range session. Another awesome competitive option is, of course, ladies and gentlemen of the Nut and Fancy project, the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. This is the Gen 2. Check this out. A lot of TMPers have this gun. One's lucky enough to find it, apparently. And it is quintessential in its awesomeness. Oh yeah, got to put a mag in. Now it's complete. Didn't put an optic on this one. That way it can fold. We wanted to maintain the foldability of it. All the issues from the Kel-Tec subsequent generations have been fixed as far as I know. We were participative, is that a word?
Participative.
In that process and helping them refine this gun and get it right. When Gen 2 came out, it was not great. We had issues with it. So this one has an aftermarket rail on it. It's got a tube cover on it. I don't think I did trigger work on it. It's got a VG on it. The benefit to this is you can put a VG on it because it is considered kind of a carbine or a rifle. You can't do that on a 9mm pistol with a brace. What a great little gun this is. Reliable, easy to shoot. The only thing that I have to say bad about the Sub 2K is that I find I have to get really, really low to see those sights. Have you ever noticed that? You got to put your cheekbone right on the top cover, and it's a little bit uncomfortable, and you just got to train with it. But everything else you get in return is amazing. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Did you know it can fire in this position too?
It totally can. You just have to put in each round manually from breech.
You got to be careful. Like when you're normally shooting the full, you don't want to pull the trigger here because guess what? You're going to hit.
Yeah.
We're kidding. Can't fire it like that. Obviously. I wonder if anyone believed that. Like they probably started writing their comment already. There's no way you can fire it when it's folded. This is just transportable right here. VG gets in the way. Might want to think about taking that off. Great competitive option though. Other ones that we've reviewed here that we don't have in the bunker, the ATI Milsport Plus are the Milsport carbine. That is more of a PCC. It's shot so great. Probably one of the more accurate ones we've shot. It's heavier at about 6 pounds and 3 ounces. We talked about the Palmetto State Armory PG9. Fantastic gun.
That's the big competitor at this price point because you see a
Yeah.
lot of cross
5
shopping
pounds,
between those.
14 ounces on the one that we tested. Okay accuracy. Maybe a little bit less than this gun, but it was still well in the ballpark. I love the PG9. Great gun. Did you say they're adding? Oh, we were talking that they'll probably add.
Yeah, the
LSHO.
top comment is, PSA, what's taking so long? Why no last shot hold open?
And it makes me wonder who's saying that. Is it owners of the gun already? And if so, what are they going to do? Like retrofit something? CMMG has it though for now. How about the SIG MPX? I always get all of them confused.
MPX, yeah, they've got like a K9, the Copperhead that came out. It's kind of in a different price point though. You're looking at like $1,300 to $1,600.
Yeah.
Depending on the configuration, yeah, you may have a better stock and some cute FDE paint on it, but I don't know if I would really go toe-to-toe against these, especially when you have to pay that much for mags.
Yeah.
A huge benefit to this is I hopefully already have lots and lots of these sitting around.
Yeah.
And I don't have to pay as much. Whereas
Right.
if you go to something expensive or European like that B&T,
Well, and this has its proprietary mag system.
but they're pretty affordable.
Right. And what was that one that the military adopted? You just said it.
Yeah, the B&T. Those
Yeah.
are $60 a mag.
I'm not impressed with that gun just on initial looks. And I'm not one to buy off on military hype. I don't give a crap what the military is using, really.
Whereas this mag,
What I do care about is what civilian competitors are using, and if it's been reliable for them, then I start listening.
you can get these all day.
Because those guys have no limitations, and they get the best of the best, the civilian competitors. There you go. Now I've talked about that so much. Other competitive options, really not a pistol, but the Ruger PC9, if you're willing to take on much more weight, 6 pounds, 14 ounces, but man, that thing shot so great. Really excellent. The Tresna Jag9 we mentioned already.
That's pretty good.
And about 20 others that we're not going to mention or perhaps review. So every time I'll post a PCC, someone has bought another brand they want us to review. They're like, oh, dude, you gotta review brand XYZ. I'm like,
Dude.
because you bought it. Yeah, I already bought it.
The Angstad Arms UDP9. Have you ever seen it?
Never heard of
It's $1,400, but it comes with an SBA3 and it's got last shot hold open. It's
Right.
7075.
Right.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, I believe it. Back to the question. You're in without rule of law. You're doing a security patrol. Would you take the FX9 TacticalDoodle as your first choice as a defensive or offensive weapon? Answer the question.
No way.
No. Now you can show them that.
Not even top 10.
No, agree. There's no way. I'm not going to take a 9mm with me when I have like this. Here's a Delton AR-15 pistol that shot so well. This has the can on it. Gym Tech. I'll review that out in the field sometime. Stay subbed. You'll see it coming. This is what I'd carry if I need something super small format. If not, this right here, dude. That. So 716 Gen 2, bro. That'd be like primary. And it's not ultimately light. I ain't saying it is, but dang, it can go through car doors and glass, and it's extremely capable. Very accurate. This shoots as good as any bolt gun. It shoots as accurately as that. This thing was sub MOA with the right ammo. Fantastic gun. The Gen 2. The Gen 3, if they ever come out with one, is probably going to be even lighter. Or just take a regular AR. This one. This is one of our builds. Bravo Company builds. Fantastic choice. That'd be like up there. It'd be between this or that.
Yeah.
If I knew I wasn't going a long distance, I'd take that. Or I'd layer it in my security patrol, so I'd have a heavy hitter, this one, a sapper. Then the other team members would be with their ARs and maybe a mixture of some type of combat shotgun with double-aught buck and slugs.
Barry in his boxer briefs, wielding his Mosin, wearing a bright orange T-shirt. And
Hey guys, wait up! Wait up, guys! I got on the Cosmoline off. By the way, how do you use this thing? Hurry up, Barry.
Barry, go to the front. Why? Because you contribute nothing.
He's our fictitious neighborhood anti-gunner that when without rule of law kicked off, he was basically unprepared in every sense of the word.
He's the kind of guy that when you moved into your house and you had like a big jug of water, so you had some water storage and you're rolling it out, he came to watch you for half an hour as you undid it, and he's like, why do you have those?
Yeah.
What do you even need that for? Do you make beer? What do you have? Why?
And if you were to tell him that you believe in preparedness, he thinks you're some type of freak.
Yeah.
In summary, we would buy the Freedom Ordnance FX9. Shot very well. It's small, compact, fun to shoot, reliable once you fix its minor annoyances. TacticalDoodle.
Yeah, it may give you some work to do on a weekend or two after you buy it, but after that, it should be pretty good.
Yeah, fix your hammer pin issue. This to me is more of a minor issue. I know you're annoyed with it.
Yeah, it takes 3 seconds to fix. You're probably going to
I'm going to
it out
take this
anyway,
off
so what does it
anyhow.
matter?
Right. I would never run an A2 grip. I shouldn't say never, but I'm more inclined to drop this and put something else on it. Great SBA3 brace on the back of it. It's fantastic. Set up nicely. Last shot hold open. Holy cow. Isn't that nice? And I think you're going to see, like you said, more PCCs and pistol format AR9s come out with that feature. Totally would buy it. Totally would buy it. And it doesn't break the bank. Maybe street, like we said, around 650. There you go. GRV in the bunker. And now, ladies and gentlemen of the project, be surprised because we're going to end with a letter sent to the post office box address below. This is from Patreon member David R. David R. I'll leave it at that. Awesome dude. I've talked with him before. And he's short and sweet in his letter. I love it. Look at this. Just a couple paragraphs. That means we can read it right now at the end of the GRV. And he goes, congratulations on your new family member, Macy the Mountain Dog. I was adopted by Wyatt the Wonder Dog, WW, that's funny, my outdoor adventure facilitator while I was a volunteer dog walker at a shelter. He's the first dog I've had. We watched the TMP Adventures with Allie and the dog gear reviews, which were very helpful. Looking forward to seeing Macy's upcoming adventures. By the way, while I'm saying this, I'll roll in some footage of Macy the Mountain Dog. I was surprised that I was a winner in the last giveaway. Thank you. The package was received and contains some awesome items. Very cool embossed official TMP collectible on the note also. So if you guys don't know, we put an insert, we'll emboss it, and we're big on that. We like to make things special. We can't break the bank with the giveaways. We do giveaways every month, at least 7. Usually I've been doing 14 per month to TMP Patreons. And also regular TMPers. So you don't have to be in Patreon at all. But I send them out. And it's a lot of work, but I enjoy doing it. And I love hearing back from y'all. So I had a personal SHTF situation recently. My living situation and financial situation took a turn for the worst. Sorry to hear that, David R. I overcame the problems, but had to consume quite a bit of my BOK food. Soon to expire MREs and Mountain House meals. I am glad I was prepared for whatever because I had supplies to get me through that tough period. I hope people who prepare these kits realize that your own shit hits the fan, SHTF, someday. I hope people who prepare these kits realize that your own SHTF someday could happen and you may have to rely upon items that you stored up for an emergency. Thanks for all the hard work that goes into TMP. You're welcome. And thanks for the many hours of entertainment and enjoyment I've had since subscribing in 2009. The owl is on the shed. Signed, David R. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that letter and I appreciate you. And that is from Fraser Park, California. Great letter. Appreciate you. Good point, too.
Yeah.
So food storage, BOK. I would prefer you guys have food storage up there, preferably freeze-dried format, because that keeps for 25 years. We often think of without rule of law being some big economic catastrophe. It may not be that. It may be on a micro personal level, just like it happened with David R. You lose your job, you don't have income, and then you think, hey, wait a minute, I have a year's food supply down in my basement. So hopefully you guys do that. That's a great subject for another video in the Nut and Fancy project. Got to sign off. Great gun, FX9. Surprise reading of a TMP letter at the end. Keep subscribed for more of this. And again, the deal is 100K in 1 week. We'll do a lot more 9mm PCCs, pistol format AR9s. Join TMP Patreon. They're the reason we keep going. Thank you very much. Signing off from the bunker with TacticalDoodle. It's TMP.